Hello. You will be very glad to know that we know everything there is to know about the universe. Yeah, it's true. There are no more stars to find. There are no more exoplanets to discover. There are no new galaxies we can look at. There are no deep space readings which will give us the age of the universe and where we're going and all the rest of it, because we know everything about the universe. How do I know that? Well, I'll tell you after this message, i.e. that I'm Granniopteryx, I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds, I'm on Twitter and Gab, that's where I let you know when I've uploaded new videos. If you subscribe to one of those, you'll always get a notification. But failing that, if you're subscribed on YouTube, remember to click the notification bell, because they won't tell you otherwise. Right, well, like, share, subscribe. Yes, so like this video, and all the links are in the description, including links to donation sites if you wish to donate. But really, you can help the channel simply by clicking that like button. I think I've covered everything now. And now I'll tell you how we know everything about the universe, to such an extent that we've got to start worrying about a lot of other things instead. You know that we know everything about medicine, don't you? That there are no more sick people in the world, that we've got everything wrapped up and all the illnesses dealt with. Well, that must be the case, seeing as the General Medical Council, which I told you about a few days ago, has decided to change all its literature to take the word mother out of it and use the word parent instead. I mean, obviously, if that's all you have to worry about, then it means that you don't have anything else to worry about because, well, let's face it, that's pretty low down on the list of things anyone has to worry about, isn't it? So, of course, along with our superior knowledge of medicine, we now have superior knowledge of astronomy. We must have, because here we've got the American Physical Society saying this. Physical, more like mental. Astronomers need to rename the Magellanic Clouds. Well. And by the way, the Magellanic Clouds are two, I think they're called irregular. Yeah, they are. Irregular galaxies, which are actually orbiting the Milky Way. They're sort of, clouds, and there's a large one and there's a small one. Here's a picture. Let's see. Here's a picture of the large one, if I can get it up. Yeah, there you are. Not to be confused with the small one, as if you ever would. And here's the Magellanic Cloud, and it shouldn't be called the Magellanic Cloud anymore. Why not? A coalition of astronomers, it says here, calls for I'd like to know who these astronomers are, because it's obvious that they really don't have enough to occupy themselves looking at the stars. Maybe they shouldn't really be in astronomy. Well, they're underemployed. Calls for renaming the Milky Way's two brightest satellite galaxies, along with other astronomical objects and facilities, astronomical facilities, you mean like star toilets and the fax machine or whatever? I don't know. That bear the name of a Portuguese explorer who murdered and enslaved indigenous people. Right, as if the indigenous people didn't murder and enslave each other. No, it was just Magellan who is at fault. And so those clouds which bear his name, and he's dead, so he doesn't know much about that anyway, they should be renamed. This passion for, I've got something in my notes here, passion for renaming things. It reminds me of the Soviet Union's passion for renaming things. They did that all the time. They'd name towns after people they liked, and then they'd unrename them and rename them something else because the person they liked, they didn't like next year or whatever, reminds me of here, got my notes, a Soviet joke. Just to refresh your memories, or some of you youngsters who don't remember that, there was a town called St. Petersburg in Imperial Russia, which, because the Bolsheviks didn't like the idea of saints and religion, changed it to Petrograd. And then, after a while, they decided that it should be changed to honour the father of the revolution. So it was called Leningrad. So this is the joke. This guy goes to, well, he's going to be taking up a job in another town, and he had to go to the passport office. In the Soviet Union, a passport wasn't something you got for going out of the country. It was something you got for going from one town to another. And because, of course, they had 15-minute neighbourhoods in Soviet Russia, and people couldn't get out of these 15-minute neighbourhoods. But that's another matter. So this guy sits down at the bureaucrat's desk, and the bureaucrat says, "Oh, all right, yeah, you want a passport. Where were you born?" And the fella says, "St. Petersburg." And then the bureaucrat says, "And where did you grow up?" And the guy said, "Oh, Petrograd." The bureaucrat writes that down. Then he says, "And where do you work now?" And the man says, "Leningrad." The guy writes it down. And the bureaucrat then says, "And where would you like to go to?" And the man says, "St. Petersburg." All right, well, anyway, yep, that's my Soviet joke for the day. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com, and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share, share, share.